Well, hello and welcome once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. As always, Darkside Dave in the cave here tonight, bringing you a little special preseason action here. Gonna run down through some special happenings here in the NextGen Racing League, the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series, set to kick off here in just the next week or so. Gonna head down to Daytona, tonight's last preseason race here at Dover, as multiple drivers are out there on track. Let's see if we can't catch a word or two with the series title sponsor here for the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Light Electric Company sponsoring the K&N Series that was just ran here in the Next Gen Series. So, do apologize about that one. Let's see if we can't get in a quick word with your title sponsor of the series. Let's see if we can't catch in a few words or two with Thomas Light, driver of that 98. How you doing?
Good, Dave. How about you?
Doing pretty good, my man. How about yourself? Sitting pretty down there in Dover. Weather looks good, huh?
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Well, my man, as I mentioned to all the fans out there viewing, watching in right now on YouTube, Facebook, all across the world, Light Electric Company stepping up, sponsoring a back-to-back season, sponsoring the Xfinity season after just recently sponsoring the Arca Menards K&N Series here in Next Gen. Walk us through the process and how that is all done, how that came about here to take over the title sponsor in the Xfinity Series.
Well, early back in the K&N series, the series was without a sponsor, and so I just thought it would be a good fit for Light Electric to step up and bring sponsorship to the league and see if we could make some good things happen. And it was such a huge success last year. The league really grew, had a tremendous amount of top-notch racing with a bunch of good drivers in the league, and so this year they put together a little bit different format, moved into the Xfinity cars, and asked if we would want to bring the sponsorship to this series, and I said absolutely. Didn't hesitate, because this year I think the league has really grown by leaps and bounds. I'm looking forward to what the league has to offer. Implemented a new draft this year, had a huge outpouring of interest from the iRacing community looking to get into the league. We actually had more drivers than we had places for, which is a really good problem to have in any league situation, and I think it speaks to the quality of the league too. So we're really excited about where the league is headed, and proud to call ourselves the series sponsor for this Xfinity car this year.
Yeah, and I mean, as you mentioned right there, Thomas, an outpouring of drivers. The doors actually had to be shut and closed. There was such a great interest in this series moving forward after the great success that the Light Electric Company Arca Menards K&N Series was past season. A great series that was, and drivers just wanting to jump on board and be a part of this growing series. Brought to you by Light Electric Company. So we do appreciate everything you do for us in supporting the series. Thomas, my best wishes for you throughout the season. Hope you get some good runs, and hope we get to talk to you in victory lane.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dave, and appreciate everything you do up there in the booth. It's a huge part of making this series a success is the broadcast that you guys put on each and every week, and we appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Well, we do appreciate you more than you know, and well, we'll let you go and get ready for that last preseason race here at Dover. It's gonna be pretty testy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a game of survival, I believe.
All right, there you have it. Few words from your title sponsor here in the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. They are trackside now at Dover International Speedway. As you see Thomas Light, he's going to go ahead and roll off of pit road. We'll go back out trackside for just a few brief moments, and it looks like we're slowly going to roll through tonight's programming. There you have it up on screen. Full Throttle Motorsports. Now, looking to try to see if they can't capture themselves an Xfinity Series title. League owner or team owner Gary Ragland here for Full Throttle Motorsports. Let's see if we can't catch in a brief word or two with that team owner. Let's see if we can't dial up Gary Ragland for just a brief moment, see if we can't get a hold of him. Gary, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Dave. I got you. You got me?
Yes, sir. Hear you loud and clear. So the draft taking place just a few hours ago, last night to be exact. You've got a couple of great drivers out there on board with you. Walk me through some of the decisions on the drivers that you chose.
Well, Dave, we're the baby team here. We all kind of newbies, and some of us only been racing 6 months or less, and we're actually we all live within a 5-mile radius of each other. So we're kind of local guys, and we're in here to have fun and to learn. There's some really good drivers in this league.
Yeah, very good drivers throughout the entire league. Teams being made up of 6 drivers, only 5 on the Full Throttle Motorsports roster. Walk us through that process of not having that 6th and final driver.
Well, Dave, we talked about it, and I didn't know some of these guys, and we're going to be the tail end of this league. I didn't want to bring any good driver in that thought he could get on a better team. Like I say, we're all new to this, and this is our first year, and so we kind of just stuck with the local guys here that we know. Not saying that we couldn't pick a guy up if he doesn't mind running with us, but we just didn't want to take away an opportunity for somebody to run on a little faster team.
Well, I hear that, and it looks like you got yourself some good, solid picks heading into the season. The first season for the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. How do you think your team's going to fare at the first race of the season, where team can really be big, Daytona International Speedway?
Oh, wow. Well, that's where the team comes in at Daytona, getting in and out of the pits, and hopefully we can work together there. And Daytona's a kind of an equalizer. Anybody can win there. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we're excited about it. We're having a blast. These guys really put on a good deal here. Troy and Damon, I can't say enough good things about them. A lot of good people in this league.
All right, my man. Well, I do appreciate you taking a brief few moments to talk to us here in pre-race before the last pre-season race of the season. So we do thank you for taking those brief few moments here with us, and good luck in tonight's race.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you for what you do.
All right, there you have it. Team owner and principal of Full Throttle Motorsports, Gary Ragland. He's joined by Todd Willis, Tim Woodson, Bobby Camden, and Travis Arthur. Moving right on along, Hammer Down Motorsports. Back again here in the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series NextGen Racing Leagues. Man, I tell you what, here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, these guys have pretty much become a staple. We have seen Hammer Down enjoy multiple race wins throughout the multiple different platforms, multiple different series. And let's see if we can't get in a word or two with team owner Mark Vyers. How you doing? It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
I can't complain. If I did, it wouldn't matter.
Well, nobody'd listen anyway, right, Dave?
At least that, yeah. I can assure you that one. Well, Mark, it's been a crazy 24 hours. Last night, the NextGen Series having the draft for the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Walk us through the decision-making process on picking up those drivers that you chose for your team.
You know, a lot of our decision, Dave, was really based on we wanted to find guys that ran consistent, you know, for one, because everybody wants consistency on their team. But the other thing, a major thing for our team was to find guys that would mesh well. Guys that can get along well, guys that we can work with, and just kind of have a good flow with the team really was a big thing for us.
Well, walk us through. I'm going to look at some of these names here, and a couple of them, I'll just go ahead and say it. Two of them a little more unfamiliar than the other three drivers there. You can see Thomas Light, Kendall Levron, Damon Cox, Staples, veterans here in Next Gen. But Nathan Bishop, Hunter Tate, walk us through the thought behind grabbing those two relatively unknown drivers.
You know, Nathan and Hunter were kind of brought to our attention. We watched them for a couple of weeks, and we like their consistency. How they can come in, they run real consistent, real clean, have good finishes, and kind of how it worked out was we wanted to make a pick for the team initially, and we kind of went to a decision between the two of them, and we picked Nathan up, and then Hunter we wanted to pick him up in the draft. We wanted to keep the two together, but being relatively unknown, just the consistency and the way that they run, we felt that they really fit the group that Hammer Down has going on.
All right, so good fit for the team as far as the outlook is concerned. Was there any strings needed to be pulled in order to get the lineup that you got?
It definitely there was some definite concerns going into round two. In the first round, we were really hoping that Hunter wouldn't get picked up. We knew that he would be a big ticket guy that people would want just because of his consistency. And then when it came down to Ray, that ended up being kind of an 11th hour deal. We went into the second round thinking that Ray was going to come to our team. So that was kind of an 11th hour deal, kind of how that all worked out. It was a pretty crazy deal.
All right, my man. Well, a strong stable of drivers there, a lot of consistency, a lot of experience, for lack of a better term, out of a lot of the drivers in your stable. So I guess we're going to see some of the veterans mentor some of the younger drivers here in Hammer Down Motorsports. And Mark, we do wish you the best throughout the entire season. And before I let you go here tonight and get ready for tonight's preseason race, you got any thank yous, love you, shout outs, anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all the guys on the team, especially Thomas Light, he's a huge member of this organization. Can't thank him enough for everything he does. Light Electric, Sim Speed Shop, Sim Racing Merch. Got to thank all those guys for backing this team, and got a good stable. Just want to thank them all for all their hard work.
All right, there you have it. Final words from your team owner of Hammer Down Motorsports. There you see the lineup right there. Thomas Light, Kendall Levron, Damon Cox, Hunter Tate, and Nathan Bishop will be that new Hammer Down Motorsports team as they head into the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series here in the Next Gen Racing Leagues. And looks like we've got another announcement to be made. Attitude Motorsports coming to for wishing here this season. New team owner, new driver in the Next Gen stable. Let's see if we can't catch in and have a few words or two with that team owner. Let's see if we can't dial him up real quick. Owner of Attitude Esports, Rob Liddell. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, Dave.
Hey, man, how you doing? How you feeling? I know they've got some pre-race festivities going down there at Dover right now. You are on track, I do believe. If you got a moment, though, we'd like to catch in a word or two.
Actually, I just jumped back in the car. I'm on pit road. I'll wait and let these guys go take off. And, no, I'm good. How you doing tonight, sir?
Doing good. Well, let's get right to the business end of things. A newer driver in the league, newer driver in the series, also brand new team owner, Attitude Esports, coming into the series to make a big splash. Last night we had the draft. Walk us through how you chose the drivers that you find in your stable.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Really a pleasure to be here. Attitude Esports, we had 4 drivers that we were going to bring into the series, but we had 2 of them back out the last second. So Jeff Stiles and myself were the 2 remaining. So we jumped into the draft and kind of went through and just looked at who was on the list, who was there, and it kind of worked out. Jeff and I keep laughing about it even today. Had about a top 4 guys on our list, and I ended up with 3 of them. So it was a real good draft last night.
And sorry about that, hitting buttons and the wrong things here in the booth. I cut you off there just a little bit there, Rob. But I mean, I see some good drivers on here, some very familiar names. John Wimbish going to victory lane in one of our preseason races. Did that have any effect on picking him up?
Yeah, it really did. You know, watching the preseason, what I call qualifying races, which is what we're having here tonight at Dover, along with the, if you will, practice races that Damon's been putting on for us. John always seems to be up at the front toward the end of those races, and we really looked at that, and went back, watched some replays, I even went back and looked at his official stats, and the guy's good. There's no doubt about it. The guy is good.
Well, picking up some good drivers, that's the way to go. I do want to wish you the best in your opening season, not only as a driver, but as a team owner here with the Next Gen Racing League, as well as the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. So, Rob, before I let you go and get back on track and enjoy some of the fun out there, you want to give any special thanks or anything like that before we head off into the season?
Yeah, I would, Dave. First of all, I want to thank Matt Spinks, the actual team owner of Attitude Esports. He's basically put me in as competition director for this division and this series. So thanks to him. Thanks to all of the guys that I drafted last night for not declining my invitation and actually joining our team, which has been real good. And Troy and Damon for putting on all of this, as we've gotten started this season and, getting ready to go next week. So it's going to be real fun.
That I can assure you, fun it is definitely going to be. Well, my man, we look forward to catching up with you and some of your teammates throughout the season. Head back off into the car and enjoy the rest of the night, my man, and we'll look to catch up with you throughout the year.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you. Have fun up there in the booth.
There you have it. Owner, operator, racer of Attitude Esports, Rob Liddell. That is your team owner, Jeff Stiles, John Wimbish, Craig Learman, as well as Jason Gardner and Cody Terry. That's who makes up that Attitude Esports stable of drivers. On to the next business at hand, Mason-Dixon Motorsports. Once again, back in the Next Gen Racing League's Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Let's see if we can't catch a word or two with team owner of Mason Dixon Motorsports, Justin Walters. Is Dave in the booth? How you doing? How you feeling, bro? And you're lighting up, Justin, but we're not getting you. And oh boy, not good. Anyways, we'll see if Justin can't work things out on his end for a brief moment here. We'll run through his stable of drivers. There you can see it behind the 8-ball a little bit if you want to say so. Justin Walters, Jason Edmondson, and Adam Novak, only 3 drivers in Mason Dixon Motorsports. So behind on numbers could come back to haunt these drivers, could come back to haunt this team, but I'm sure each and every one of those drivers in Mason Dixon Motorsports is going to be driving hard each and every week. And we'll see if we can't get in a word or two with the team owner. Let's see if we can't get Justin back on the mic. Justin, you got us?
You got me now?
I got you loud and clear, my man. There it is. Well, I'm not sure if you heard some of that, but last night, 24 hours ago, the drivers' draft taking place. Mason Dixon Motorsports walking away with just 3 drivers. Walk us through some of that decision. Walk us through how you're going to approach this season being a little bit behind just because of the numbers.
Part of it was our guys had unfortunately been busy most of the last season when we were in the ARCA cars. Didn't want to take a chance of things going haywire and bringing someone else down with us as we get back into the groove of things.
Well, with only 3 drivers, Justin, I mean, they're taking 4, your top 4 finishers basically, and that's the points that you're going to get. With you having 1 less driver already to begin with, how are you going to overcome the deficit that you're going to be dealt pretty much right off the bat? Daytona International Speedway, a place where teammates come in handy. Walk us through how you're going to deal with that.
Now, Daytona is one of the tracks that us as a team is strongest at, with being able to work with other teams. We've normally had a good relationship with Dirty Air, and I'm probably going to have a good relationship with Hammer Down, I think, this season. Other than that, I think when we get some of these other tracks, especially the short tracks, it'd be more, whereas I know with Jason and Adam, they're good with making it to the end. I have a tendency to do that, but a lot of times I'll try to force the issue and get up ahead as far as I can to be up there at the end.
All right, my man, Justin. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you here in our final preseason race here at Dover International Speedway. We do wish you the best here, not just tonight, but in the upcoming season. And you want to give any special thank you, shout-outs, love yous before we let you head off in the sunset?
Absolutely. Thank you guys, Turn 3, once again, for broadcasting us on both Sunday and Wednesday nights for NextGen. Always give a shout out to Jags for all the hard work she does behind the scenes. And what my lovely wife let me do this every Sunday.
All right, there you have it. Final words from team owner and driver out of Mason Dixon Motorsports, Justin Walters. He's joined by Jason Edmonston and Adam Novak. On to some more business at hand. Smoke Show Racing, headed by Steve Baker. Baker with some great picks here in the draft. Dustin German, Joshua Spalding, Chris Spencer, Dylan Blankenship, and the road course king, Jeffrey Vandervoort, right there on that Smoke Show stable of drivers. Looks like Steve Baker still trying to get through tech, still trying to get through everything and work that all out. We'll have to wait to see if we can't catch a word or two with him here very briefly once he does actually get to the track. And let's see now if we can't catch in a word or two with the owner of Next Team in the line. Let's see if we can't grab Gordon Larson Jr. and talk to team owner of Hardline Racing, Gordon Larson Jr. Is Dave in the booth? You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, bud. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm all right.
Well, just
How y'all?
pretty good. A few minutes here before we head off into qualifying for your final pre-race run here in the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Walk us through the picks that you made last night and just how they kind of came to be.
Well, I only ended up with one pick that I had to pick, so it was kind of simple for us. I kind of picked up two of our rookies from last season and went ahead and got them on the team for this season. So we only really had to pick up one guy.
All right. Well, I mean, you got a full stable of drivers, so able to utilize that average points a little bit more than some of the other teams. Do you think you having the full 6 drivers on your race team helps you out any more than any of the other teams?
I think the guys I have, I think we're going to do really well team point wise. I think we have a good group of drivers that we can pull that off.
All right, my man. Well, before we let you go, I do want to say I thank you and appreciate you for taking a few moments here to talk to us here in this final preseason race at Dover International Speedway. Good luck heading forward into this entire season. And you want to give any special thanks or anything like that before we let you go?
Just want to thank y'all up in the booth for all y'all do and everybody that puts this league on. And to my new teammates for this year. We're going to have a good year, I believe.
All right, well, there you have it from a team owner of Hardline Racing. That was Gordon Larson. He's joined by Melvin Young, Eric Blount, Derek Robinson, Jimmy Hetrick, and Bobby Hetrick as well. On to another very familiar team, Black Hawk Motorsports, sponsoring this season's pole award. There you see all the drivers. K.D. Osmond, last year's Light Electric Company ARCA Menards K&N Series champion. He's joined by Dustin Ping, Brian Snare, Mitchell Snare, Michael Mason-Gill, and team owner Chris Berg not here at the track. Other drivers on the team still out there making a few laps, trying to see who we see out there. See if we can't catch in a brief word with one of those Black Hawk Motorsports drivers. And it looks like all of them may have stepped away for just a brief moment. So we're going to step and see if we can't move on along here. Falcon Motorsports. Troy Radford, Chris Medford, Brandon Medford, Doug Wasaki, Ryan Wilson, Tyler Hilton, all right here in Falcon Motorsports. And let's see if we can't catch in a few words with a driver out of Falcon Motorsports. Troy Radford, it's Dave in the booth. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Just out here trying to get some practice in and trying to figure out what we're doing around Dover here.
I hear you. Gonna go from Dover to Daytona. And that is a massive changeover. Just wanted to catch a few words. How you feeling about this this lineup, this stable of drivers that you have with you? Team owner Tyler Hilton put together last night in the draft. It's yourself, Chris Medford, Brandon Medford, Ryan Wilson, Doug Wasaki, and team owner Tyler Hilton. How are you feeling about your teammates?
You know, feeling pretty good about it right now. Got to figure out a little bit here as far as it goes, and working with Ryan, who unfortunately Ryan, their pick, wasn't able to be here tonight. He's going to work, but he should be good for the rest of the season, I believe.
All right.
Yeah, definitely a strong group. You know, proud of what we did last season, and I think we've got a lot to grow on from that.
All right, so I noticed that you have 6 full drivers in your stable. There's only a handful of teams that have that full 6 drivers. Do you think that's going to help you or help your team have a slight advantage of some of those teams that are missing a driver or more?
I mean, I definitely think it's not going to hurt, because what's going to happen with the way that the points are structured is, of those 6 drivers, the top 4 count for points. So anytime you can have a drop, it's basically like having 2 drop races. So anytime you can have that drop ability, it's going to help, because everybody's going to have a bad race at some point. So if you've got 4 drivers on your team, you have no drop, because those 4 drivers are going to count every single time. So with our lineup, the way that we're set up, Ryan's a bit of an unknown, but Ryan has a lot of talent. He's a great guy. I think that he's got a lot to learn, but at the same time, he's somebody that I've known him for a couple of years, and I know that he will put his nose down and try to learn on that, and I know he can do it too. So glad with the way we went. Of course, a little bit of awkwardness where we tried to pick my dad, and Dad got confused, and so Dad ended up declining because he had already accepted to another team that ended up not working. So it's a little bit of awkwardness there, but we already had Ryan set up as a secondary because we knew that somebody may be picking Dad ahead of us. So Ryan had kind of been our scout. We had a real late pick, so you're kind of hard to plan because some of the guys are going to go off the board early and trying to work around it, and we thought that Ryan was going to fall to us, and it just so happened that it did.
Well, Troy, I do want to wish not just yourself but the rest of your teammates and obviously the team owner well, and not just tonight, but throughout the entire season. We look forward to catching up with you throughout the season in different aspects, maybe poll awards, things of that nature, maybe down there in Century Equipment in Erector's Victory Lane. We'll have to wait to see how all that plays out. So, Troy, once again, thank you for taking a brief moment here talking about the newly formed Falcon Motorsports for the upcoming Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. And with that, man, you want to give any more shout-outs or thank yous before we let you go?
Just mainly a big shout out to all of our team. We've got some sponsors. We haven't quite done our sponsor announcements yet for the season, so we'll keep quiet there. But big shout out for everybody who makes this league work. I mean, from our league sponsors with Light Electric, Century, of course, 946 Designs, as well as Mission 22 and Blackhawk Motorsports. We've got a lot of people who really believe in this league, and it really makes that part of it easy as far as an admin standpoint. So, huge thanks to all of those guys, and of course, Turnthink Racing Network, and you making all this stuff happen, man. I know you put in a lot of work to make all of this broadcast, so we appreciate it.
Well, man, I love what I do and love you guys too, so why not try to put two and two together? Troy Radford, once again, man, appreciate you taking the time. We'll catch up with you here throughout the season, and good luck tonight.
Yep, thank you very much, brother.
There you go. Final words from driver out of Falcon Motorsports, filling in for team owner Tyler Hilton. He's joined by Chris Medford, Brandon Medford, Doug Wasaki, and Ryan Wilson this season in the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Dirty Air Racing next on the schedule. Let's see if we can't get in a few words with team principal from Dirty Air Racing. That is Brian Mescal Jr., team owner. How you doing, bro? Got to turn the boombox down, huh?
I was just having some team chatter there.
Well, man, walk us through your picks from last night's draft. How did you come about picking all of these great drivers?
I don't know. Damian Patton's a friend, so hoping he shows some potential, but we'll see.
All right, my man. Well, Brian, I know you're a man of very few words, very serious when it comes to race time. Looks like qualifying's getting ready to get underway, so we'll let you go, and we'll look forward to catching up with you throughout the season. Looks like you've got a great group of drivers right there on the Dirty Air Racing stable, so thank you for talking to us for a brief minute, and we'll catch up with you a little bit through the season.
10-4. Thank you, Dave.
There you have it. Those were a few words from your team owner for Dirty Air Racing, Brian Mescal Jr. As I said, man, a very few words, very focused and down to business, straightforward when it's time to get to racing. And now that qualifying is underway, Brian Mescal Jr., he's flipped that switch and he has got nothing but qualifying on his mind. He's followed by Roy Hyde, Brian Littleton, Lance Yancey, Travis Smith, and Damian Patton, rounding out the new stable of drivers here for Dirty Air Racing, and multiple past champions sitting right here in Dirty Air Racing. Roy Hyde, championship in his pockets. Brian Littleton, he's got a trophy back at home as well. Brian Muskell Jr. also has a trophy of his own to go along with some of the ones you see right back there, the other one back on the wall. But, we won't get into that, race fans. It's about what's happening here this year in the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series for NextGen Racing. And I tell you what, it's going to be one crazy little adventure, crazy little night. And we're going to take a brief little commercial break, head back here for just a moment. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Back trackside here at Dover International Speedway as drivers begin their qualifying laps. Looks like we've had somebody stroll on over here to the production booth. My good buddy driver out of Dirty Air Racing, Travis Smith. Man, what you doing over here?
I thought I'd stop by before we go crawling these things and see what you was into. Check out the Dark Side Dave man cave.
Well, it's still dark and cold in the cave, so you got to watch yourself, watch your steps. How you feeling about your teammates heading into this season? Do want to point out something. Going to poke the tiger a little bit here. You're on a team with 3 past series champions. When's your championship going to come?
Oh, man, we've been so close. I just have a hard time showing up every week with the busy schedule, Kids running around playing ball, me coaching, this doesn't work out a lot of times. So jumped over to this Sunday night thing, that's one free day I got, and I get to sit down and commit my time to. So I'll be here at every race now, and really looking forward to it, man. And, we got a bunch of really good teammates to lean on, past champions, winners, top 5 every week, those guys are. So if I can just get close to that and be consistent, then I think we got just as good a chance as anybody.
Well, buddy, we do appreciate you making a short little stroll down pit lane and coming by, stopping by the production booth here. We wish you the best throughout the season, and why don't you try to shape up that little rookie on your team? I call him a rookie, but he is a dirt racing king. Damian Patton joining you guys. Shape him up and get him into victory lane so I can get a few words with him. What do you say?
I'll do my best. He's raw. Pretty much this whole team come from dirt. So in real life, we've done a lot of these guys done dirt racing, and we're transitioning to this pavement on our racing. So yeah, I'll talk to him, tell him to stop by and see, and try to get him to keep the tires on this thing.
All right, Travis, my man. Well, we'll see you, and keep it out the wall.
Keep it out the wall.
All right, there you had it. Travis Smith peeking his head inside the production booth door there. So we threw a headset on him, let him have a little bit of an interview. There you see a track pretty quiet out there as drivers rolling through their qualifying attempts and whatnot here in the final preseason race at Dover International Speedway. Looking forward, the next few weeks, we will be heading to Daytona International Speedway for race number 1 for the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Then we will head off into Texas, take a brief week off, and then fire things right back up in February. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. It's been fun joining you here tonight, trackside at Dover, running down some of the silly season here in the NextGen Light Electric Xfinity Series. This series is going to be flat out just craziness. There's going to be a lot of great drivers all over the field, all over the track, week in, week out. Road courses are involved this season. We've got some short track Saturday night action going for you as well, so look forward to a lot of great news coming out of the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. I am Darkside Dave in the Cave. Glad you could be here tonight. And with that being said, we're going to step on away, let these drivers do what they do for the night. Look forward to catching up with you guys next Sunday night at Daytona International Speedway.